call the regular meeting of the Richmond Township Board to order. It's Wednesday, November 14th. Would everyone please stand and join in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Sure. First of all,
Here.
David Hoffman here, Cindy Green
Here.
Don Salka,
Here.
Aaron Paul.
Here. Next item on the agenda is the presentation of agenda. I would like to, I would like to add adoption of recreational marijuana ordinance under new business 12D. Are there any other additions or changes to the agenda?
We add just a brief discussion on the library proposal on 12B.
Just library proposal? Yeah. Okay. Anyone else have any changes, additions, anything? All right, then the agenda will stand as amended. Next, we have public comment. We were scheduled to have Mr. Boyke here. I don't see him. So we will...
Have comment? Public comment?
Yes.
For
okay.
today's stuff?
Okay.
All right. I see you wrote a check for election software for $102. That's not much as far as election software, right? Tested. Has that stuff been tested, or you know anything about the history of that software you paid $102 for?
It's a software given to us from the state through the county for our computers.
So that's from the state, then, right? Because I know software, I could write every third or fourth ballot, I could have a mark of somebody else. So I'm just asking where that came from. That's all I wanted to ask.
What's that? Any other public comment? Yes, ma'am?
As a township resident, I would like to indicate that I am disheartened with the procedure used by the Board of Trustees to approve the ballot proposed for the library village. I accept the township voter determination in this matter, but honestly, I feel the township voters really did not have an adequate opportunity to understand this proposal and its ramifications on all real and personal property owners, hence farmers with multiple parcels, residents, and business owners. No actual public hearing was held on this issue to get a true sense of what the wants of the township residents are. I believe this issue is addressed by the Board of Trustees in an agenda item on a regular July 2018 Board of Trustees meeting in an effort to get the proposal followed by the deadline of August 14th of 2018 for proposals to begin on that date for the November ballot. The Township Board had in the past has held public meetings for police millage issues and also the waste site Stone 80 matter to get a true understanding of what the residents desired. This millage proposal issue should have followed the same procedure. The voters have spoken, but I believe it now shows a divide continuously on the issue, which sadly indicates that this is not a clearly mandated tax approval. It barely squeaked by and passed less than 2%. The board failed to properly inform the residents of the yearly actual cost of the library co-op contract. No contract terms for the library co-op were really discussed by the board, nor were the residents or the voters, property owners, truly given all the necessary information surrounding this type of proposal. This township has always prided itself on getting the best bang for its buck on limited taxes. After the voters approve this millage, the township will have its highest township tax rate for general, fire, and EMS, and now library. That is, since I've been a resident of this township. I feel that we're losing the real rural township feeling, and this may be the first step down the road I never thought we would go down. This board will have to provide answers to questions for those six voters who voted no on the proposal ballot when they get their tax bills this year and over the course of the next 4 years.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
She's red money.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. We have approval of minutes of October 12th, 2018 regular meeting, building department report, EMS report, office manager report, planning commission report, and NEMC minutes. A motion would be in order to approve the consent agenda either as presented, or if you'd like to remove an item, we can add it on later in the agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Is there support?
I'll support it.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is the financial reports. First item on there is the approval and payment of bills. Kathy has presented us with a list of bills. Does anyone have any questions? Hearing none, a motion would be in order to approve and pay the bills as presented.
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Any other questions?
Just one, there's no question really on the bills, but the designation, the supporting designation we got from Kathy, the 88 door and then the engineering for the 88 door, one was capital and one wasn't capital. Is that something
John was
John's
here, and we
supposed to-
discussed that, and he told me just place it there. He says he knows where it's all gonna go.
That's my question.
He also was the reason why we voted 2 times. Just throw that in there for good measure.
John's not here to defend himself.
He's in the call, he'll tell you. Leave it at him.
Okay. If there are no further questions, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report. Bob?
Okay, for the month of November, the general fund, fire fund was $499,945.71. The tax account was $150,226.70. The other PNC accounts, that being the recreation fund, EMS, senior, and payroll, was $40,120.31. And the investment accounts, $368,908.67. The purchase and development rights account was $13,528.24 for a grand total of $1,072,729.63. Since the report has been prepared, the tax account has basically been dispersed from all collections except for our administration fee, which we will hold until we settle out the accounting. And basically, we have the monthly report of income that came in last month, and also the investment breakdown. A couple of points. One, we discovered that we may have an issue with our computer at our home office. Rob has indicated that it may be going. He hasn't had a chance to look at it. I want to bring that to the board's attention. It's not going to affect our preparation of tax bills, which we expect to be running on Friday here, but it may be a situation where we may need to have him give us estimates for the computer. So I just want to bring that to the board's attention. I guess that's all I have at this point on the treasurer's report.
Anybody have any questions for Bob? No. Hearing none, the treasurer's report will stand as presented. Next, we move on to farmland preservation. I thought you were having a meeting in November.
No, we haven't had one yet. It's pushed, now it's been pushed back to probably December 3rd. We did that because everybody was still busy, nothing was going on, so we sent the email out this week, and I think that's, right now, that's 10 to date, it looks like it's going to be December 3rd. One other thing, I did attend the county commissioner budget meeting in October. The MSU extension, the county is going to cut their budget. And somebody come up with the idea of cutting MSU extension budget to the RSU extension, kind of put out the call for everybody to kind of come down, you know, so give them support. So I was there among probably 50, 60 other people.
That's awesome.
And after the meeting, Don Brown said he, you know, he don't think it's going to be an issue. Said probably the first time they had anybody, yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all that's been going on there.
I know that the commissioners approved that budget yesterday, I just got something in my email from me, so I don't know what's actually in it for you.
Yeah.
MSU. Approved.
I think we were there for the public comment. The public comment probably took an hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, then the regular meeting, and we had a break, and Don told us, he said, well, you don't have to stay around. He's going to take it from here. So I didn't hang around. Originally, we planned on staying there until we could see what their comments were coming back at us. But, he said we didn't need to be there for 11 or 2 hours.
Okay. That's good, there was progress.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Great.
they could respond.
Thanks for going. Okay, next we have the building report.
Good evening. Just a few quick items. The work on the ADA door openers is scheduled to begin this next week. They're going to work on Wednesday as much as they can, and then I think again on Friday they're going to try to stay away from hours when the offices are open as much as they can, just to avoid disruption for the staff. There's times when the doors are going to be open when they're working on it, they will cold in here, things like that. So they'll work with us in that regard. Mr. Zulka reported an issue on the employee entry door not latching all the time when it shuts just recently to us, so I've turned that over to Kevin. He's going to be following up on it the next day or so, just to make sure the door, as best you can, be aware of it, make sure it shuts tightly behind you if you can, just until we can effect a repair to it. So we do have a couple of, as far as the senior center goes, we do have a couple of holiday rentals in the senior center scheduled, and after the new year, literally right after the new year, we'll be winterizing that building and moving the seniors over to this building for the winter months. It saves us a considerable amount not plowing that whole area out over there, because it really doesn't get used except for those Mondays, and also saves us some costs with regards to heating and cooling. We've done some things that we hope will avoid any issues with pipes freezing this year. One of them will be keeping the heat a little warmer in there than we had in years past. Having said that, we had decreased the heat last year, decreased the amount of temperature in there last year. It just was the right cold and the right wind that caused that pipe to leak. So we're taking some action to avoid that happening again. We still have kind of on our to-do list for the spring, just kind of a reminder to look at the driveway bump at the entryway. We just the cold weather and winter seems to have set in fast this year, and really we probably won't be able to get anything done with that until spring. We'll look at that and see it out here at the same time. And then the last thing that kind of involves the building, and couldn't figure out another place to mention it, if you will, this evening, is just as a reminder, we're going to be having a food drive here at the Township Hall on January the 10th. That's a Thursday from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. Here in the room. So with that, I think that covers everything on the board.
Anyone have any questions for Jeff?
I don't know, it's not necessarily directly related to building report, Jeff, but it actually, I think in a way involves the property. In the past, we had, at one time years ago, requested the neighbor, Mr. Clark, to put a snow fence up on the west side where his property was, and he did not wish us to have that, but now that the family has the property on there, maybe we could request that we put that snow fence up, and maybe it would save some of those drifting snow drifts that we get on the drive.
Yeah, I think, I would agree that that would be a good idea if we could get it in here before, ground truly freezes at all, to get it done. I don't have a contact for Mr. Clark's family, but if somebody from the board or staff wants to give them a quick call, you want to give me that number, we can reach out to them and just say, hey, we'd like to put this in. And I think it would actually help. I mean, there's times that you plow that drive, and by the time we take the truck in to thaw it out, the drive is blown back over again. It's just the nature of the big open field that's there. So yeah, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, I thought that when I was picking up the calls last week, and we got a postal.
Great, yeah, it'd be, I think it'd be a good idea if we give the allowance.
Strong guys like Chris.
Okay.
I got one of those things too.
Any other thoughts?
It's a curse.
Okay, we'll move along then to the assessor's report. One small update, I did want to just let you know, I did contact Chris today to see if that document had been signed, and she was told it was to be coming in Monday to sign it, he would have time to do so, so I'm hoping she gets hold of me and lets me know. I will let you folks know as soon as I hear anything. Any other questions regarding the assessing?
The only follow-up question I see that Lisa is going to be putting together the material for the MTT on the Russ property, so I assume that once that's put together, since it's due by the end of the month, we'll get some work for us.
Anything else? No? Okay, we will move along then to unfinished business. As always, we have medical marijuana under here. Did point out a couple of interesting articles I found. One of them is now using medical marijuana card online, which I was amazed at. Of course, now with the recreational marijuana passing, it probably won't matter that much. And I also sent you an article that I was just almost kind of in disbelief at how those township officials were using that money. And two of the three were recalled. Two of the three I recalled. But that just amazed me about what would you do that? But me neither, don't know where it is. And as I had done, I had requested to move the recreational marijuana ordinance from this part of the packet and put it on the agenda. I didn't feel at first when I was looking over it that it was something that we needed to address at this meeting. And then the more I heard from everyone, the more I talked to them, read today as to when probably the first part of December, that will actually be in effect. As the ordinance is written, if we adopt it this evening, it means we are not allowing any recreational marijuana facilities in the township. That doesn't mean it has to be that way forever and ever. It just means it's that way for now. And the way it's written, once it is approved, if we decide to approve it, and Kathy publishes it in the paper, it is effective at that time. So that was my thought in moving it. And certainly if you folks don't want to do it, we won't do it, but I would just put the opportunity out there. Any other comments on medical marijuana? Okay. Next item on the agenda we have is building department update. A lot of little things on here, a lot of questions I had that I'm really just kind of looking for some input from the board on. I did contact two of the three names that were given to me at the last board meeting about becoming members of the Construction Board of Appeals. I called the other one twice and I could not get a hold of them. I will try to look for a different number. Both of the gentlemen I talked to said they were interested. They would call me back before the meeting, and I thought, so, to that end, I didn't feel like we were going to have a meeting tomorrow or anything, so I thought maybe we could discuss some of this other stuff. what was the board feeling on payment for the board, construction board of appeals? I threw out $50, I didn't know, I didn't know talk about that, is that planning commission to be at $50?
It's 65, but I don't like the 50 runs more like the board review. You know what I mean? So they're, and they never really know
What's the board, what's the appeal? Zone for appeal?
they're 60 and 65.
Yeah.
They used everything at one time, that was the budget, yeah.
So everything except for the board review is 60, 65.
Board review is 1,500, but that would be for a full day, but of course the construction guys aren't going to do a full day, so if we left it at 50. We're going to do something like 3-4 times a year. Right. So I would assume.
Yeah, it's like, sometimes they go for years, and they don't meet. It's not a very, you know, but I thought I would ask, because this way, when I call them back, to let them know there will be some pay involved.
The zoning board of appeals is at 60, I think that's where you should go.
You think 60?
Or it keeps the kind of same.
And they don't meet that often. Whenever I said, well, back,
It's like
They're all equal, right? There's not a commissioner.
Well, there's a chairman.
There's a chairman, so it'll be 60 and 65.
Same thing.
Okay, so they're not only one different people.
Okay, so 60 and 65. The next item I had, or the next issue I had, this item was the application for the hearing. I just wanted to show you folks, Lori presented it to Mr. Casson, and he was fine with it. It's pretty basic. Chris typed it up based on, I think it was Royal Oak Township. Just thought if anyone saw it, they had a big problem with it, we could change it. Then I had the cost of the hearing. That was also something we didn't talk about. There's a lot of places that only charge $100, and then there's some that charge $500, based on the fact now that it's going to cost $185 to get 3 commissioners there. Plus you have a public hearing and some mailings. I mean, I don't want to make money on it, but I don't want to lose money on it. So I'm thinking somewhere between $225, $275, we could split the difference and do $250. Anyone have a thought or opinion on that?
you have to publish it, right?
It's got to be published and you
Publication fees are going to end up going up, so I would just say that let's just make it a flat 300, up to 300.
If you don't like, there's a publication between 80 and 100, you're paying 3 commissioners, 60 times 300.
go 300. Good? Okay. All right. The next item may take a little more discussion. I thought about what we talked about with giving perhaps Charlie a flat rate to be the consultant. They had Chris do some sheets for me, and I guess what ended up in the packet was the average of everything. What's been the income since 2013 and what it averages out to. I'm feeling, I look at the plan review fee and the average per year is about $33.50. So, are we going to want Charlie to continue to do that and then give him a retainer on top of that? We're going to have someone do plan review. And Chris had contacted that place we talked about, and they will not come this far south. So we are still going to have someone do plan review.
They won't come this far south for any of the work. So
Which is too bad.
And it looked like it was a reasonable
Yes, it
price
did.
for a small
Yes,
township.
it did. So I guess first, let's address if, do we want him to continue to do plan review and, perhaps ask him if he could come in here so that Drew could sit with him and do it. I mean, for me, that would be the ideal thing to, ask him, say through the end of 2020, if he would still getting the income from that. So I don't know, Chris, how do you feel about that?
Well, I just look at it from Drew's perspective. I mean, you give somebody to work with closely, learn the pay-per-view process from someone who's been doing it for a long time. So I think keeping Charlie in is probably a good thing to help train Drew. As far as the pay, I don't know about that part. But I think it's good if you could work together for a period of time, whether that be through the end of 2020 or next year, whatever time period we decide. I think for some time period, it would be a good idea.
So maybe just 1 year, like doing that for 1 year?
How does Charlie feel about that?
I don't know. When I talk to Charlie, I would kind of like to have, some solid answers to give him.
Kind of what he said, does he want to do it for another year?
I would think,
I don't know.
I would think Charlie would be willing to do that.
Do you have any idea? I mean, we haven't talked to him. So I thought that when we last met, we were going to talk to both Drew and Charlie, or have him come to the meeting to discuss some of this.
I just had too many questions to feel comfortable talking to him. I'll be honest with you. You know, I didn't want to go and sit there and he'd ask me something, I'd say, I don't know. So I guess I wanted to get the board's input on that, just to feel solid with what it was telling me. You know? So, yes, still on the plan review for?
Yes, yeah, I still say yes on plan review.
Okay, would you still want to put plan review?
Same on family, but that was,
Okay. How about you?
My thoughts are, I want to be able to use his expertise and his long-standing knowledge of the township. So I certainly would want him to continue to do the plan review if he's interested in doing it. I'm not at all interested in having him train Drew for 2 years, though. I mean, Drew was at the point where he's almost like building inspector, except for the plan review.
Yes.
So I think at most, we're talking about a year. I mean, we're talking about buildings that goes on in 2019.
Okay.
It picks up. It's not going to be very much here now for the next 3 or 4 months, but then
Right.
the rest of the 19. So my thoughts will be up to 1 year. In terms of the monthly retainer, I think if we're going to do that, we give him the retainer X amount per month, which goes toward his plan review, so it'll be subtracted from whatever plan review he would be accredited. So he knows he's going to get that X amount of dollars, but if he gets,
So for example,
if he had $2,000 in that month for the plan review, it would be subtracted, that retainer would be subtracted from the 2,000, he gets 1,700. So he's already get 200 up front.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So that's my thoughts.
I think, I don't know, before we do anything, I think we need to just, why don't you and one other board member sit down with them, both of them, and just start asking. And if you don't have the answer, you don't have the answer, at least we have, you know, I don't think you have to go and do the meeting with them with all the answers.
No, but I also have been to a few meetings that are futile. I don't want to go to and spend 2 hours and get nothing from it. I mean, that doesn't make any sense for anybody.
Yeah, but I think what we need to do is tell Charlie, okay, Drew has now got his license. The plan was right from the, and he knows
Oh, yeah.
that
He's,
we wanted Drew to take over. You know? So, this is what we're thinking, what do you think? You know, this is what we're thinking, that by the end of next year, you're gonna take over.
yeah, 2019.
And I don't know how this works, but I don't know why can't, if Drew is our building inspector,
Mhm.
and he's getting paid $350 for the plan review, what's stopping him from taking those plans over to Charlie and throwing them on his desk and saying,
Drew.
yeah,
Drew is stopping himself from doing that.
that's what I mean, he could do that though. And he could give Charlie the money.
He absolutely could do that.
Yeah.
All he has to do is apply to the state of Michigan, and they basically told him, even though he had not had a class per se on plan review, if he sent them an application of $75, they would certify him in plan review. So frankly,
That's what I mean, that Drew, basically, Drew's our inspector, and we're paying so much for whatever he's doing. How he gets the job done isn't our concern as long as it's done properly.
right,
You know, and he's like, you know, he's putting his name to it.
right. My concern in all of that is just the regard and respect we have for Charlie for all the years he's been here, and
But that's what I mean. If we talk to him and come up with that, and we even say, cheers, that. I mean,
Sure.
and just say, hey, you know, however you guys work it out is your business. I mean, there's nothing wrong, is it with Drew?
no, if he has the certification from the state of Michigan, he
And he
can
goes
sign
around
off
and
on
says,
everything.
hey, I've got the certification, but he's doing the work.
Mhm.
And whatever they make out for payment or anything.
But then if we're going to, Kathy is going to be asked to issue checks to them, I mean, we're still
Well,
going to have to know.
She would check.
Sure, it would have to be Drew.
It's to Drew. And what he does with it afterwards is his business.
Maybe Drew's afraid Charlie's just gonna say, you know what,
Yep.
after a month, I'm done, and then Drew really doesn't understand it yet. I think it's more of a fear of the unknown than the
Well,
unknown when it comes to
But
your.
to go along with that, I mean, you gotta basically tread the water at some point in time and take it on your own. And if Drew is unsure of his abilities, that's one thing. If Drew wants assistance, I think Charlie would give it to him. I don't think there's any question. It's just a question of how long Charlie would want to give it to him. I mean, if we give Charlie a retainer for a year, I'm not sitting in that position, I'm gonna wanna stay there for a year, because I'll get a retainer.
Right.
So I got no incentive to leave. So that's the other side of the coin.
I think it's going to serve on our side, than it will be Drew's side. I think Charlie would, I think that's a guarantee Charlie would stay for a year to help Drew out.
But at the end of the year, though, Drew's gonna have to swim on his own.
Well, yeah, I'm saying that, but I think if we went the other way, I think Drew is just afraid. If Charlie said within like 1 month, says, you know, I'm down, I'm not doing this no more, then where does it leave?
See, that's why I think we need to change.
I think, I agree.
Before we make a decision, one way or the other, we have to sit down and say, hey, here's our concern, Charlie. We got Drew involved in this, you know, started supporting him or money, because, you know, you can't do the work in.
Right, and he knows that. And when we met about redoing the fees,
Yeah, you can't.
we absolutely discussed that,
Yeah.
and he understands he can't.
So then we need to say, where are we going with this, Charlie?
Okay, so let's be clear when I leave, so when I come back, if I've not done something, I just want to hear clear direction. I'm going to talk to Charlie and Drew before the December meeting. I am going to talk to, my plan will be to talk to Drew first.
Yeah, I think you're
I
talking.
think talk to them both,
I
yeah.
think you're
Why-
talking both ends, I don't know.
Here's our position,
Here's our, what do you do next thing? Maybe they'll have some ideas.
With somebody, right?
I would think it would be better if Cindy had one of us, I would with her, so that, you know.
Well, you got to hear you work.
Yeah,
You're
more
going to
people.
pick up and work,
I
yeah.
understand, you know, or just, I use it. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if people in there with any ideas or anything, any preconceptions or anything, you just want to talk.
Right.
I mean, I know, like you said, a lot of times you feel like you're spinning your wheels, but you gotta start somewhere. And I think that's where you need two people.
I have been working on moving this particular thing along for a while.
Yeah.
If you tell them what to look at, and you say, okay, guys, do you have any suggestions? Charlie, do you have a suggestion? And you see what they got to say. Maybe they have different ideas of what we're talking about.
Exactly.
We don't know that.
I think, that's why I think you need to talk to both of them at the same time.
He said the youngest one that's being the purpose. I kind of think this is the first that shows us.
I didn't say that, Chris, I didn't say that.
I think,
Yeah.
that's my goal.
I got no problem
So we'll meet with Drew.
Yeah, just set up the date. And just list it.
Yeah.
So we'll do that, we'll ask Bolas if I can ask Bill Ference or someone to figure it out.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I would think though that you have an open discussion with them, that where we're at,
Yeah.
and keeping these over the date. Right position.
We need something to be done.
Yeah.
I'd like that as much as I can.
Yeah, we need to move forward.
I would like to just be done with this.
Yeah.
I really do. Okay, so in the next couple weeks,
Yes.
okay? We'll get together, we'll figure out, I'll get hold of Drew and Charlie, we'll figure it out. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay. All right, I think that we're good there. Okay. So, next we move on to the franchise fee letter. At the last meeting, we had some questions about what was happening with the franchise agreement. I was authorized to have Sheriff draft a letter. Just wanted to make sure everybody looked it over. I would need a motion to authorize me to send a letter to Leslie Brogan and Shannon Doolin at Comcast.
Move to send a letter that's been proposed by our township attorney to Leslie Roman and Shannon.
Is there support?
Support.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, motion is carried. Are all those in favor? Motion is carried. Okay. Discussion of the policy for New Year's Eve hours. So I'm just going to ask for a motion to open discussion on off-hour New Year's Eve.
Motion?
Is there support?
I'll support it.
Okay, we had discussed this item at the last board meeting, and we had agreed to have the office open to collect taxes from 8 a.m. to noon. And we had Lori and Jan who both agreed to work that. And after that, it was brought to my attention, and I know, Bob, you had even referred to this, and this is what you were referring to, that at one point we had agreed to be closed Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve from 2013 forward. So there was a question on what our policy is. So I felt that perhaps we should just figure out what it is. Are we going to continue to be open on, say, 8 to noon on New Year's Eve day, just to collect taxes, pay for a full day? Are we going to be open all day like a normal day, or are we going to be closed? I personally don't have a really strong feeling one way or the other on this. I just want to have it written in the policy manual so that there's not a question about it.
I'll open the discussion on this, because I brought this issue up last meeting. I brought the issue up last meeting because this was a unique year. It doesn't come up too often, where we only have one day open between Christmas and New Year's, day after New Year's. So I thought that this year that I would suggest that we approve that the township, the office hours will open on New Year's Eve from 8 to 12. I don't think we need to change the policy that we have currently in place, being closed on New Year's Eve, as we had in this policy manual that we already created. I think we're just making more policies that we really don't need to change at this point. So that's my thoughts. I mean, let's just do it this year, and then next year we're back to, we have, I think, probably 2 days between Christmas and New Year's Eve we're open, and we'll be able to pay the taxes that probably bank on New Year's Eve.
So when we are asked about the policy, we say we are leaving it as it is, that we are closed.
The office is closed, but the township, I guess we will at each individual November, the treasurer's office will determine whether we will open the office for collecting taxes on that morning like we have in the past. I don't want to commit to that because I don't know basically when that 31st is going to fall.
Okay, we're going to feel about that.
you know, if it's an issue that we have somebody in the office on the last day of taxes, regardless, then I think the policy should say that we, on the tax side, do, if it's not right on a holiday, or if it's not, you know, on a Sunday, then we should have somebody there. If it's that big of an issue that we need to have somebody there, that would be our treasurer's fault.
So we're referring to that, deciding in November.
Yeah, I would think
I
so.
mean, because it sounds like most years will be closed. This was
Yeah,
just
that's
a
what
unique
it is.
situation. It was
Yeah.
not.
I think it's, the only reason they come up this year is because of how the holiday.
And this will be what again in 6 or 7 years?
Yeah, so once every 7 years, probably, we usually out that one, or maybe come out on Saturday or something. But I don't think it's a big issue, I just think Bob brought it up for that.
I don't think it's a big issue either, but I was asked to clarify the policy,
Yeah,
so I needed to do that.
I know. They were saying we were talking over, we say one thing one year, something else, and then.
And this
But
way
I think
forward.
they need to understand the reason why it was done. It makes sense why it was done.
Okay. So you're saying pretty much, just because I get asked about this a lot too, you know, I get questions and I just stand there and I don't really have an answer for them. Just the one every 7 years is going to vary, is that how we're going to leave the policy?
Well, it could.
Or we could
You'll
add
make
that
the
into the
decision.
policy?
In November, we would add something that says, you know, in regards to tax collection on New Year's Eve.
The treasurer will determine. the
Yeah, that will be
amount.
determined by the treasurer. Correct.
And that's what you're going to change the policy to, though, right? You're going
Right.
to put that in policy and that's the way it will stay.
We don't, we have, right now, we're making a decision. We have the office closed right now on our personnel policy right now on New Year's Eve. And what I've done in the past, we've had the office open for tax collection only. And Cheryl and I have been here. So what I said this year is I didn't really want to do that. I wanted the office to have staff to be here. So I guess what I'm telling the board is I will let the board know if I feel that the office staff is going to have to be here because of the situation that we had this year. We're going to have one day open between Christmas and New Year's Day. I don't think that happens to them. I haven't looked at the calendar to see how often that's happened. Because we have the banks open usually in that period of time when they can go to the banking day. So I think we're really going overboard on trying to change this. I don't think it needs to be changed. We have a policy in place. We're closed to New Year's Eve except for collection of taxes. And we need office staff, I'll bring it up in the November meeting. Like I did this time. Or like October.
Yeah, I think we're just ready to do what you're doing, like Bob said. If there's an issue, bring it to our attention. Because even later.
Okay. All right, then we'll just leave it how it is, and I'll take a vote on the discussion of the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay. Next, we have personnel policy update, use of vacation time for required conference attendance. The motion would be in order to approve the amended personnel policy regarding required conference attendance and vacation.
Move to approve the required personnel policy change with regards to conference, education, and attendance.
Is there support?
I'll support it.
This was brought up with some concern. We had, an employee, Lori, was, I believe, using 2 of her vacation days for a conference that she was asked to attend. So we had discussed that tonight at that meeting, agreed that if it's a conference, some seminar, something that our employees are asked to attend, really for the betterment of the township, we would adopt a policy that would know they would not have to do so. So Sharon sent the attached changes, and she made a couple of other things where she had put in there that they would get approval to go to these by the board beforehand. I don't know if that is, if that is necessary, or if that's something that's assumed perhaps by, you know, like in the case of flooring, that's something that's in the budget. So, you know, do we want them to have to ask us in writing to go to a conference, or do we want their department head to have to ask us to do that? She also mentioned, she also put in the changes that she would like, or that they would be required to give a really short presentation on what they felt that they learned. So we'll start with Chris this time. What are your feelings on the amendment as it's proposed?
I agree with that, I don't see a problem. I'm not really going to, I support it. I'm trying to understand a little bit further too. I don't really get involved with the conferences and all that too much, but.
You're good with them not taking their vacation?
Right, yeah, no, I don't think they should.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. And really, when I did it in the past too, I wrote a little thing, submitted it to the board of what I learned at conference.
And it really be,
Beyond
you know,
that,
1 or 2 sentences.
not as a critical as one of you that we did.
Yeah.
I remember doing that, yeah, it's no big deal.
Okay.
But it's all, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. The only thing I would suggest, a written request, maybe she adds in there, she'll be in writing, including email. To the, that way, it'll be a very simple step for the person to ask for the conference approval. It's sent to us in email instead of having to wait. This is the agenda item. So I have no problem with how she drafted it.
Okay. Vern?
I don't like that.
I don't care. What the heck?
Well, they were never required to take their vacation days if they went. They chose to do that as a way to maybe use up their vacation days. Now we've taken that away from them. Oh, you can't do that because listen, now you're gonna have it in writing. Do we need all of this? If Lori comes to you and wants to go to a conference or something, I think it should be up to you to say if it's worthy of it. If Cheryl comes, wants to go to a conference, I think it's up to Bob to say, yeah, I think it's worthy.
Well, and I don't have a problem taking out the request
So requesting
in
this stuff,
writing if they
but-
talk to their
but to
department.
take to say that, oh, now you can't use your vacation days to get paid for that.
I don't think it's saying they can't, I think it's saying they are not required to. Because
They never were required.
but I think that,
That was never
When
required.
they took multiple jobs, so.
I think it was,
It's never been that, okay, you're going to a conference that day, and it's on the day, on your day off, well, you're gonna have to use a vacation day to go for it.
and I would say here, I would guess, I'm going to ask you, Kathy, are you ready?
Yeah.
Did you tell Laura to take her vacation days for that?
Me and you sat down in my office. We talked about what we were going to do about that, if you remember right, because they had
Of the
said
planning.
the planning and zoning cannot cross over with the deputy clerk, because she's one and the
Right,
same, on the
okay.
same days. And we assumed, we shouldn't have assumed, now I get that, but we didn't think anything of it. We were more so worried about the departments crossing over. And we had just said she'll just have to use her vacation time then, so that it doesn't cross over.
So now this will,
But now,
Is it will never
brought to
happen
life,
again?
and it made sense, and it should never happen again. It'll never be
it'll never be an issue again.
And Brett, I think what this does is, it basically puts it in writing so that 8 years from now, there's a different board here in the next. They can always change that.
Yeah.
At least we got something now, discuss this issue.
I think the beginning is Michael had a chair too much about it, so.
But seriously, even with the requesting, because the conference is the same time every year, we don't just have to be on that.
But now we know.
Right.
You have to have it right, bring it up before the board.
We can take out the having to have it in writing. We can remove that. I mean, I don't have a problem You know, and if they're gonna go and their department head wants to say, Kevin, you know, Laura's going to the first conference or you know, whatever, she can tell us. And then, you know, Lori wants to send something, or if Cheryl wants to go, or Chris goes, or Dan, they can write a little note when they come back to us, and I can put it in my update.
Well, then they've got the payment prior to the attendee must indicate any cost or expense. To me, we're getting too specific, you know, because most of it, all, you know, what we do, we pay for the conference.
We
You know,
do.
we pay mileage, and that's it. I don't, to me, that sounds like you have to have a written request, then you have to have another thing that for your payment.
That's the part that bothers you, is that it looks like it's going to be a big to-do, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't bother you, though, that we state clearly that they don't have to take vacation time.
Yeah.
You know, that we can't require them to do that.
Yeah, but like I said, we never required to do it.
So we can just cross right out the words of written request, we can cross that whole thing out. How's the board feel about that, crossing that part out? Good? Okay. Sorry. I'm in favor of making this change, just to clear it up. So if it ever comes up again, we can go back to this and we can look and there's not a problem. Okay, payment prior to the event, the attendees must indicate any cost.
Which we know the cost, and we share the cost for the survey.
So how do we feel about the payment issue? What do you folks want to do with that? I don't need to have that in there. Prior to the event, the attendees must indicate any cost or expenses that may be incurred attending the event. In the event, the attendee is requesting reimbursement of those costs and expenses.
Yeah, I suggest maybe that we be satisfied with the last two sentences on the costs and expenses will not be paid or reimbursed by the township. Let's include that with the attendant. We should must submit the verification costs and expenses. Yes, this has the next two sentences.
Okay? I'm just, okay. All right, so time, this is where the big thing came in. So I'm just all for leaving the time issue just like it is. With the first paragraph here, the township shall not pay, reimburse, or support voluntary attendance of any employee, official, or individual connected with the township at any professional conference, education course, workshop, seminar, or other similar event, unless prior to the event, the attendee submits a written request to the board for approval. Do I get rid of that?
Yeah, because I think that can be up to whoever they're working for, or whoever, or if they come to us, even if Jan comes to us and says, hey, I want to, you know, go to this conference, I want to do this. I mean, we as a personnel board either have told her, you know, if she wanted to take classes or something like that, go ahead and do them.
How about we leave in the required or necessary workshops, conferences, seminars, or recertification courses shall be paid for by the township when in the opinion of the supervisor / designee, such are necessary to maintain the employee's quality and culture of work.
That makes sense.
So we believe that. So just want to clear what you're suggesting for the changes you would like to make. I took the first 1, 2, 3, 4, those 4 entire lines of the first paragraph. Take out all of the written requests. In payment, begin at cost and expenses will not be paid, etc. And then under time, leave that as is.
So in the reports,
But about the last two sentences of that paragraph are the ones that make sense.
Of which one are you talking about?
Of the payment.
Yeah.
The people cost and expenses will not be paid or reimbursed by the township unless approved by the board. I don't know if it needs to be the board. The attendee must submit, I think, written verification.
Well, Kathy's going to have that anyways to reimburse.
Yeah, that's what-
Our auditors might have lots of.
You're gonna have to have that. So those last two sentences make sense.
Okay,
But then it can be approval by the board, she has it on her bill.
okay. Do you want them to give us a report? I mean, I don't care either
A
way.
summary wouldn't be bad, I think, a lot of times.
Just to submit one to us and you can put it
Or
in.
like Bob said, just email. Like when, it's like,
Yeah, I think it says to the extent practical is directed to the board, so
So we can do
I
that.
think it's.
Yeah.
It's pretty much all the election laws, it's all what's going to be in there, other than that, it's up to the child.
Okay, so we've now taken out a major portion of the amendment, but I have no problem taking any of that out. It still makes the point we're trying to make, I feel, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm just going to go back one more time and make sure we're all good with it. Chris, you're good with the changes we've made to it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Kathy? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the policy as amended, say aye. Motion is carried. Okay. We are now on to new business. This is discussion of the personnel policy amendment regarding extraordinary duties. I would like someone to make a motion to open discussion on that.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, so this was another concern that was brought up. It was based on the amount of hours that Lori had worked on FOIA. And I had asked Sharon for her opinion on this, if perhaps we could adopt a policy regarding this. So what I did was just sent all of you her answer to me. And before I open discussion with anyone else, I gave this some heavy-duty thought. The big question I had was who was going to decide, I mean, the biggest thing for me was who was going to decide what constituted those duties or extraordinary work, and how much were they worth? And I kept asking myself, in the particular board that we're in right now, I felt fairly comfortable we could do that. But if this went into our policy again in 8 years, I don't know that. And I'm not against looking at perhaps paying hourly or something, we could do that. I do know that the deputy treasurer spends a lot of time during tax collection season, long, long days. You know, I'm not against talking about that at all. So, Vern, we're going back to you to start. We did Chris first, we're going to do Vern this time.
yeah, I don't know, I don't think I'm in favor of it either. The other way you could handle it, I think, because I think that didn't our accountant also say that they didn't kind of agree with doing it this way?
We did, but I do believe we can't take that.
Can't do
We can't do bonuses at all. Remember when we used to get Christmas bonuses, we used to get on the cards, I used to receive one from the board, you know, when we did bonuses. But I honestly am not 100% sure, that was a long time ago. I don't know what is their excuse not to do it. It's true, honestly.
Perhaps.
I told them.
I don't know, it goes back to like these last three things to me. Something like this doesn't happen that often. That's not going to happen that often. And when that stuff, you know, if our workers can't do it when they're normal working hours, you know, I don't know. A lot of us, if there's, like you say, it boils down to, if you want to be salaried, if you want to go. And there's benefits both ways.
For sure.
And so, I just think we're getting we're going too many policies. We're going back to my opinion, that micromanaging everything. Every little thing comes up, we're like, oh, I don't agree.
Okay. Okay, Bob.
Well, I read Sharon's explanation of the pros and cons of doing something like this. And I'm satisfied with that explanation. I think we're going way overboard at this point. I brought up the issue because I thought it was just unfair for that employee to have to work those hours. I'm ready to make a motion to use pitch this whole idea.
Okay, let's just ask those two. Okay.
He's going to make one statement. He's it was unfair for her to work those hours, but she didn't work any extra hours. Vernon and I met with her than what was required. She just worked them at that time so she could go on
And to
vacation.
clarify the record, I'm talking about the time that she worked there, yes, as opposed to hours during the day.
That's it.
Chris?
Yeah, I agree with Vernon, there's too many policies and causes a lot of problems doing it. As for as often as something like this might come up, I think it should just be dealt with on a case-by-case basis. If there's something that needs an extended amount of time beyond normal hours, I think we could probably just work it out as a board and agree with them. I'm in favor of scratching the whole thing.
Okay. Did you have another comment, or did you say something?
I have another question, but I just, whatever happens, it's going to take a week to discuss.
Okay, we have, okay. So there's a motion on the table to discuss this. So I'm just going to take a vote on that motion. All those in favor say aye. Motion is carried. So, Bob, did you say you just want to make a motion?
I just make a motion that we just, put this whole issue of extraordinary duties, policy, pay, put it aside and not take any action.
Okay. Is there support on that? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's carried. Okay, next, we have an item to approve setting the CDBG public hearing for December 12, 2018. Can I get a motion to that effect, please?
I'll make a motion.
Is there support?
Support.
Discussion, I'm going to lend this over to Jeff. If you just kind of want to go over it, if you would.
Sure. So it is, I guess, that time of year again when our community development block grants process begins. The initial process starts with a public hearing where we have to take input on eligible projects for CDBG funding. The township will be receiving just over $9,000 in CDBG funds, about the same as prior years. And there will be a couple $1,000s that can be available for service projects, I think about $2,600 total, or service organizations, if any of them come in. And the rest has to be used on brick and mortar capital, and that has become difficult the last few years to find a project with that amount of money in spending. And so, at this point, the board doesn't have to make any decision other than to set a date for the public hearing. The last few years that's been pretty brief, so if you want to do it before you bring a meeting, or whether you want to just do it right away at 7:30, I'll leave that up to the board's discretion about what time you want to get here and start to deal with that. I will just mention, while I've got the floor on this issue, that last year we had put funds into the minor home improvement program, which is a program by which our residents that qualify at a certain income level can request from the county funding. I think it's up to $500 to make improvements on their home. There's some requirements. They have to own a home and some different things like that. And those funds, it took almost a year, literally, but those funds are now available for use. And I think we were going to put on the township's website or the notice or the information about those funds and who to contact the county. Because there was a point when people were calling here, the office staff here was sending them to the EMS, our residents to the EMS. They get to the EMS and I give them a piece of paper, they call the county. I just really don't want our residents having to do all that. Our residents can call the county directly. We really are out of the loop when we put our money into that program. We have nothing more to do once we allocate those dollars for the program. So those funds are available, just so folks are aware they might be seeing this evening, and I would encourage them to call the county if they have interest in seeing if they are eligible to receive them. So with that, I would just suggest setting the public hearing for your December meeting, and that will start our process.
Okay, Bob, we'll start here just because
No, none of this issue was back on 12B, we skipped, that's something we'll discuss.
I apologize, we did that next. I'm so sorry. Okay, is there any conversation, any discussion on this? Okay, so then there's a motion on the table to go ahead and set the public hearing on the CDBG funds for the summer 2018. 7:30 is when we've been having it. Is everyone good at 7:30 good time? Okay. There's no more discussion, so all those in favor of that, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Now we will go back to compensation commission discussion. I really apologize, Bob, I'm very sorry about that. Okay, and I know you had requested to put this on here, we talked about this a little, so I will put this over to you.
Well, I requested that they put on the board agenda because a couple months ago, the supervisor came up to me and asked me what my thoughts were about having a compensation commission for review of the township elected officials' salaries. This was something that was raised by one of our township residents. And initially, I basically indicated that I didn't think it was necessary, I wasn't in favor of it. I'm not sure if any other board members were opposed on this topic. And then I've had second thoughts about it. We've never had it done. I know that I brought it up once before, but maybe haven't been done. So I figured that it's best that we bring it before the board and discuss whether we're interested in having a compensation commission created to review township elected officials' salaries. The recommendation to us to move the procedure we followed in the past. Frankly, Mr. Murphy is the one that's here regularly brought this issue up. If we're going to have a compensation commission, I think we probably need to have at least 3 or 5 people from the residents of the township. I would have no problem with recommending Mr. Murphy to be a commissioner, whoever else would be fine. I think that's my thought. Maybe we should.
Okay, John.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Bert?
I'm either way, it doesn't matter, but if the board feels or the township residents think we should have one. It's just, who would pick that? We would pick the
We do.
commission.
We have to suggest.
Yeah, certain people.
So we have to adopt the ordinance.
We have to adopt it.
Yeah, so, but I mean, we.
How soon that would be for our budget next year? Probably.
But I mean, if you guys felt we want to move forward with this, then I would bring this stuff to, I guess, to the next meeting. If that's what you wanted.
I'm for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. Whatever you're gonna do.
Okay. So I will, I read some on it. Not a ton, I wasn't sure. I'm in favor of it. I think, it's a good idea. Okay, so we open discussion on that. We are going to vote on the motion to have discussion on it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. So next month I will bring some information on the procedure to move forward with that. And I think if we start in December, we should have enough time that, Jeff, I know you're on the compensation commission. I think it said they meet no more than 15 days a year, and they have to, have their recommendation to the board a certain amount of time before the budget's adopted. But that would still give them, even if it's not official until February or March, that would still give them time to meet.
Either that or you have to extend beyond this budget year.
Yeah.
The next budget year. If it takes longer,
That does.
Oh, yeah.
then it takes longer, so then it would be something that would occur in the fall. That's great, but still.
So you move in that direction.
We would move in the right direction.
Okay.
That's my thought.
The way it's done in the community that I live, we meet we don't actually meet even every year. There's been years that we've chosen elected not to meet because the board directed us that they didn't plan on taking any increase in their compensation that year, and so we don't spend people's time meeting to determine if there's going to be a compensation or raise increase. The board's already made the, come to the conclusion that they probably will accept it if we were to offer it. And again, I'm just telling you the way we do it in our community. I'm sure your attorney can give you direction to make certain this gets done correctly. But then we make a recommendation to the board. The board then usually accepts our recommendation and, they receive our recommendation. And then they still have an annual meeting of the electorate. At that annual meeting, and if you recall, I think for those of you that haven't been around for years, we have annual meetings. But an annual meeting is a meeting that you have, they usually, have it on a night or weekend, and the electorate actually comes there, and the electorate votes on it. So we present our recommendation to the board shares that at the annual meeting, and then the electorate can vote on approving or denying that increase. Now, I don't know if all of those pieces are required or not, or if you just have a committee that just kind of provides advice to the board, and then the board takes or leaves that. I can only speak to, like I said, the community where I've been involved in this. So, one other thing was the compensation committee only deals with board salaries. So we don't deal with office staff, inspectors, anybody like that.
Okay, all right, I'll get some information again. Okay, we are now at adoption of recreational marijuana ordinance, so I'm going to ask for a motion to adopt the recreational marijuana ordinance as presented and drafted by our attorney. If I can get a motion to that effect.
Motion?
Is there support?
I'll support it.
Okay, so we're going to open this for discussion. As I said earlier, I decided to put this on the agenda as an item. I talked to Sharon, and she said if we chose to add it as an item to the agenda, and if we chose, then we could approve it at the meeting tonight. And as reflected in the way it's drafted, it would become effective immediately upon publication. I think that it's probably a good idea to perhaps prevent anyone, this will help prevent anyone coming in before all the rules and regulations are set up. I guess is how I feel and how I see it. That's not to say we would never opt into it, but if we don't adopt something like this, we are automatically opted in. That's how it's going to work. Chris, what is your feeling?
Just like that, I think it's a good move right now, and we can go change what you said down the road, and not knowing exactly where this is going to go. I mean, we know what's passed, but not knowing that not what, at least we have our ordinance set up, and we can kind of see what's going to happen before we decide what we're going to do in our community. But I think it's a good idea to move forward with it.
I think it's a great idea, Carl. Yeah, it's on the office, we'll probably,
Yeah.
we're not going to home dispensary, going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I stand by the citizens.
Bob?
Same here, we've heard from our citizens, where it's I have no problem with this proposed ordinance.
Bert?
I think it's a good idea. I think it's awesome.
Okay.
Foolish to leave ourselves out there.
All right, so if there's no further discussion, I'm going to ask for a roll call on this, please.
Krista Voss,
Aye.
Jackie Walfontaine, aye. Sidney Freeman,
Aye.
Bob Salka,
Aye.
Martin Coleman.
Aye.
Motion's carried, so we'll get, I sprung this on you, so I'm sorry, to ask you for an ordinance number, but I will get this to you published tomorrow, okay? Okay, and then next item, Bob, you want to get library village?
The only thing I wanted to bring up with the library village is so if we've got to figure in there what we expect to collect on the 3 mills, it's about 51,000. Out of that 51,000, probably about 41,000 is going to come from residential, real property, farmers, and then about 10,000 is coming from the personal property, and predominantly on the personal property, and the big personal property people, it's the local pipeline, Enbridge, DTE, International Transmission, are the ones that are really paying probably almost half of that 10,000 because of the size of their personal property. Yeah, I just want to make sure that is aware of that in case they get any questions. But I fully expect that once the bills go out, people see it on their bill, they're going to get all the cost of the because we have, like I said, almost 49% of the people involved use. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, items for next agenda.
Before we do that, can I add one more thing?
Sure.
I forgot to mention in my treasurer's report, I needed a motion to approve the township collecting the summer MISD tax levy again in the summer 2019 taxes. They sent us a letter a couple days ago asking for the request. I need that approved.
Can I get someone to make that motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion.
Is there support?
Or,
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
aye.
Motion is carried. Good. Okay. So items for next agenda, information on the compensation commission, a report on Chris and my meeting with Charlie Drew. What else? What else? Barbara will be okay.
I'm expecting that we'll probably get another ring from the school districts about collecting some taxes from Richmond program there.
Anyone else? All right, we will have our public hearing on the block grants, and it'll be first item on the agenda. Okay. Here now to call to the board. Does anyone have any items they would like to discuss? Over and above what we've already talked about?
Just to go back, I'm not sure where in going deep on this discussion of the rehabilitation. The county has a program which they pay half of the ditching project. I don't know what, I think it's up to a certain amount, but. And what Ray Township did with this, in my recommendation to the board, if any of the township residents come forward with this, is what Ray Township did is the landowner paid the township portion. That if you want to get into the program, it's fine. The township was not going to put the money out. But the county allowed them, well, they get the other half was paid. That, and I think it's a limit to what they're going to pay for the
Do you, I have no idea what it would cost to E3 at all. Is it like a $20,000 per?
It all depends on the size, how much you're taking out, and where you do with your I'll bring this up at the parliament. That's how I found out about it. The old center, the council supervisor brought it up. And several,
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
several of the residents there got into the program, and he said they paid, they agreed to pay the other half. So.
Yeah, because that was what I talked to him,
That can be done.
which is good.
You know, I'm just bringing this up now in case it comes down that the rest of the board kind of has an idea of what we're talking about. I'll find out a little bit more.
Thank you.
Maybe bring some more information back.
Thank you.
The township operates as the resident pay that.
Well, that's the way it's been working out. I mean, it's just like, I don't think we want to be paying for any type of, we probably can't afford to be paying for any training for, especially residents are going to say, well, you're clean kids very much.
Yes, they are.
Why don't you do this for me? And that's, I don't think I want to do that. But I mean, we sure would help the residents if they really wanted to do that. And I don't know if you know anything about the program.
I really don't.
I'll try to find out, maybe I'll get what's called, try to have a name or something, I would think. You know, but I'll find out a little more about it. Yeah, I think that's what Ken and Randy Russell got, and you'll never heard about that. I
Yes,
think they're
because-
asking questions.
Randy called me and asked me to call Ken.
Yeah, so hey, what's this all about?
And it's can't work.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyone else?
Quick question. Other update, there was indication that a number of people in Golden Lake were complaining about the limestone.
Oh,
What was that issue all about?
It was the issue of, when they built the road up, they didn't build up everybody's individual driveways. So when you're coming off a little lane in the driveway, there's a hump there. Well, towards Armada Ridge Road, probably 3 or 4 driveways north of Armada Ridge, and then going Christensen Place. The problem is, once that's out there, I looked at all the driveways and the whole thing. It wasn't terrible, it's just there is still a little hump there, and that's just because they built Little Lake up so much. The county's not going to take the time. So every individual driveway, like I had recommended, so you got a hold of today, they're welcome to go out there, feather it in on their own, and be like, that was the majority of the complaints, was that bumped into their driveway. Now, the county went through there and dug it out, you're going to create a hole, and then one car sitting there, you don't know their issues.
So that's what we found out. We talked to the residents.
I,
On an individual basis, if they.
the one person that's been contacting me the most, I mentioned that to him today.
Unfortunately, it's something the county does on their own, they don't go out there with smaller equipment and take care of all that.
He was actually going to be scary.
She did one, someone does it, but also.
I did, yeah, I think so.
But down all that.
I know at Personal Road, when they first did it, it was even on Personal, it was not.
Same way?
Yeah, it was not. But it's pieces now. I think they came back and figured that out.
Yeah, and if it's really good, they might.
Because it's on the road, it's not
Right.
Personal, you know, it's more, so.
The other question is, have we had an opportunity to do individuals complaining about the plan?
I've had opportunities with
Do you think that's something that's going to go?
there's nothing we can do. The barn was built according to all the requirements. The grade has been finished properly. We have required downspouts and gutters, which have been placed properly. Both inspectors have gone out there. When I spoke to this gentleman, I asked him if he had spoken to his neighbor to try to fix this. And he was some unkind language with me when I suggested that to be the case. So
So as far as the township's concerned, we've done everything we
we
can.
have, and I also asked Sharon about it, and she said he feels he needs to sue. It will be a lot cheaper for him to buy some builder, trust me. So,
That's all.
Well, years ago, when we built the grades on the, a lot of times we didn't build around the, we had that with our old farm. Our older buildings are down here, our newer ones are up here because we built a building base, which you should always have done. Back then they didn't, now the older, you build something new and it's done right. The older ones suffer from that.
what's interesting is the gentleman that's complaining about his neighbor built the house that his neighbor lives in. I said, well, knowing full well the answer to the question, I said, well, sir, you know that house, all along cost. He said, well, I did. Sharon said we're fine, so
Yeah.
good to go. Okay, are there any other questions, any other comments? If not. Any other general public comment?
I have a question. That library village seemed like it had a lot of good press in the paper going forward for it. I'll read the article, I didn't see much against it. And the paper says 61,000, Bob just mentioned 51,000. And a lot of people went against it. A lot of people don't read the voice, have access to the internet. Is there any way, do we have like a recall on the village? Like, if I would have a petition or they would sign a petition, like 150 signatures all needs, is there any recourse for people that maybe want to rethink that idea since we had that?
I'll be honest with you, Tony, I don't know, but I can find out.
I would, I'm interested in that because the young lady, she had a very good comment. We didn't have much public discussion. And like I think the paper is slanted for it towards it. There's a big article like this and all for how great it was. But when you had an election, you had only 53 people voted more for it. It's like 79 to 81%. Split was like almost in half for the township. So now at this point, we all know what the course is going to be, what the cost is going to be. Is there any primaries in May or February this year? Or if it would cost too much, we could put on the next election in 2 years from now? The presidential one in 2020. That's my thoughts. I thought I'd ask that question.
I'll ask.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just briefly, and I'll follow up on this and certainly make sure the office staff, and as need be, the officials are aware. There's a letter in my mailbox from Semco Energy. Apparently they're going to come out and change our gas meter on the building. Doesn't say which one. I think they actually have two on the building, one for the EMS side, one for the township side. It just gives a meter number, so I can't tell by which one it is. I assume there'll be some short disruption in service while they change the meter out. We'll coordinate that with, like I say, with the township office. That's just brand new.
Okay. If there's nothing further, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support?
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.